So Family Guy looks simple on the surface, right? Funny cutaways, Peter being Peter, Stewie plotting something that would genuinely land him in prison. But surprisingly, there's a whole side of this show that most people have completely missed. Dark jokes that slip right past. Production secrets nobody ever talks about. So in this video, I'm going to cover 50 secrets most fans never figure out. Starting at number 50. So Cleveland's bathtub has crashed through his wall in over 10 different episodes. And each time it happens, the show just plays the exact same clip again. At this point, Cleveland probably just budgets for a new house every season. Honestly, respect the commitment. 49. The Griffin house at 31 Spooner Street has never once made architectural sense. In Stewie Loves Lois, the master bathroom sits on the right side of the bedroom. In Stu Royd's, that same man cave is suddenly a basement trapdoor. Fans spent years trying to map out a consistent floor plan, and every single one of them gave up. 48. In Model Misbehavior, a background newspaper headline quietly reads, "DVDs pause for headline joke, millions disappointed." Nobody called it out. Nobody pointed at it. Just sitting there the whole time for whoever was actually looking, which was apparently nobody. 47. And during cutaway gags, the rest of the Griffins just froze completely and stared blankly at the screen. Back to the Pilot actually showed this on purpose. The show's own self-aware nod to a real animation cost-saving technique they've been using since day one. Nobody watching at home ever noticed they were just standing there doing absolutely nothing. 46. And it's not just during cutaways either. In almost every single Family Guy scene, secondary characters are completely still while only the speaking character actually animates. Watch any drunken clam scene closely. Everyone else just exists, just standing there, breathing presumably. The show has been doing this for 25 years and getting away with it every single time. 45. But some of it is just flat out sloppy. In Death Has a Shadow, Stewie's broccoli plate vanishes between shots and reappears with a fork beside it. The welfare check is addressed to the wrong house number. The man sitting next to Quagmire literally changes shirts between cuts. All in episode 1, before the show had earned a single loyal viewer. The confidence is genuinely something else. 44. In Lethal Weapons, background bystanders are already reacting to Lois's punches before she even throws them. The crowd knew the hit was coming before Lois did. Editors saw it and just left it in. Well, at that point, why even bother? 43. And in Petergeist, the same green-shirted background man appears 2 and 3 times in the same frame. Peter actually described churchgoers once as random background people, where half don't move and the other half just blink. They knew the whole time and just kept doing it anyway. 42. But not everything back there is lazy. In Blue Harvest, the Star Wars Cantina quietly includes Roger from American Dad and Bender from Futurama as background patrons. Not a single word about it from anyone. In Halloween on Spooner Street, trick-or-treaters at Adam West's store are wearing both Batman and Catman costumes, a nod to his 2 most famous roles. Just sitting there, waiting for whoever's looking close enough. 41. And in Back to the Pilot, Stewie literally points out the eye over nose animation error from Death Has a Shadow, where Peter's right eye got drawn directly over his nose, and just treats it like a historical moment. The show didn't just leave the mistake in. It made the mistake the actual joke. Genius or lazy? Probably both if we're being honest. 40. So, Partial Terms of Endearment was produced for season 8, and Fox flat out refused to air it in America. Kevin Riley, then president of Fox Entertainment, said abortion was just too hot a button at that particular moment. The BBC aired it instead, so the episode exists. It just never made American television. And apparently, that was fine with everybody involved. 39. And in Road to the North Pole, Stewie and Brian break into a house, smack the sleeping father with a baseball bat, assault the mother and duct tape the daughter. All of this framed as a Christmas mishap. The show looked at a full home invasion and said, yeah, that's a holiday special. And somehow it worked. Which really does say something about all of us. 38. In Life of Brian, Brian gets hit by a car and dies. People genuinely cried watching that one. And the whole time, a Pawtucket Patriot Ale poster is just hanging cheerfully on the wall right behind him. The show's comedic instincts don't take days off, not even for funerals. 37. Turpin Cowboy aired March 17, 2013. Peter accidentally blows up a marathon in that episode. 29 days later, the Boston Marathon bombing happened. Fox pulled it immediately and never re-aired it. And in Back to the Pilot, Brian references the hijacker pilot of America Flight 11, the exact flight Seth MacFarlane was actually booked on. He overslept and missed it by 10 minutes. That one hits completely different knowing that. 36. When You Wish Upon a Weinstein was held back nearly 3 years before Adult Swim finally aired it. The Quagmire gag from Moving Out got pulled from broadcast entirely and only showed up on the DVD. MacFarlane told Entertainment Weekly there are jokes he wouldn't make now. He named specific ones. Noted, Seth. Really noted. 35. In Steroids, Quagmire casually mentions being deported from Thailand. Same energy as someone describing a delayed flight. And in Brian Portrait of a Dog, Peter mentions a previous talking dog named Todd who was put down at 15. One sentence, no follow-up, show keeps rolling. Brian's entire predecessor, one line, cold. 34. In Love Thy Trophy, Stewie's building block spelled red rum in the background while he's actively plotting Lois's murder. And in P Terminator, Peter blasts Ernie the Giant Chicken in the face with a shotgun. Ernie drops, Peter walks, Ernie's eye opens. Fun Terminator parody and a straight execution in the same gag. The show just kept moving. 33. In Family Guy, Peter casually mentions some fridge containers hold horse sperm instead of milk. Stewie pauses, looks down at his cereal, slowly keeps eating. No line, no reaction shot. Just a baby quietly coming to terms with his morning. Blink and the whole thing is already gone. 32. And apparently Seth MacFarlane only has 3 solo writing credits on the entire show. 3. Death Has a Shadow, Family Guy Viewer Mail Number 1, and North by North Quahog. The man most people think wrote everything? 3 episodes. That's it. 31. The Conway Twitty cutaway started as one throwaway gag in Bill and Peter's bogus journey, and eventually ate 15% of the full episode and the juice is loose. MacFarlane confirmed it was completely deliberate, structured filler with a self-aware edge, which honestly explains a lot about this show's entire creative philosophy. Alright, look, if you still not subscribed at this point, what are you even doing? Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. It costs nothing. Unlike the therapy some of these secrets might send you to. Alright, back to it. 30. So Chris Griffin's voice is Seth Green doing his impression of Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. A friend literally dared him to try it right before walking into the audition. He went with it. They hired him on the spot. And that is the voice of Chris Griffin. A dare. That became a 25-year career decision. Outstanding. 29. Seth MacFarlane doesn't even record his characters separately. A casting director once expected him to go character by character during a scene with all 4 main guys. He sat down and ran the entire thing straight through. Every character. No stops. Her co-director says she had never heard anything like it in her entire career. MacFarlane knocks out up to 5 full episodes per session. Meanwhile, the rest of us are still figuring out one email. 28. And the reason Family Guy has done so many Star Wars parodies is because George Lucas himself was a fan of the show and personally encouraged them to parody the entire trilogy. Lucas gave them his blessing and pushed them to follow through on the whole thing. No word on whether the prequels were ever discussed. Probably too much material to deal with, honestly. 27. Borstein once shared that MacFarlane's original note for Lois back in season 1 was basically less annoying, go faster, or every episode run 4 hours. She made it work. The note was completely fair though. Early season 1 Lois was genuinely something else. 26. Peter is based on Paul Timmons, a real security guard at MacFarlane's college who got tracked down by a news station years later and confirmed the whole thing on camera. Stewie is MacFarlane doing Rex Harrison from My Fair Lady, because he found something about him amusing and ridiculous. Well, that makes sense why Stewie sounds like a displaced British nobleman plotting world domination from a high chair. And this concludes part 1. Until next time, stay tuned for part 2.